Okay, hello, welcome back everyone. Today I'm Kevin from KevinMC. Today I have this, which is an FD 50mm F1.8 from my FDB that has been burnt. This thing, I've cleaned the optics but not the focusing helicoid. So today I'm gonna be re-lubing this helicoid. If the threads are big, I'm gonna be using my usual grease. If no, I'm gonna use this molybdenum grease, I think that's what you call it. This PTFE stuff. This thing costs a lot, so I'm gonna use it sparingly. I also have this Nikkor 35mm f2, which I'm gonna be CLAing someday in the future. So yeah, let's go on to the FD. I'm gonna pull this thing out. This thing has some sharp acrylic on the outside, because before I burn this thing for insurance, obviously, you have to like, what you want to say? You have to like protect this stuff with acrylic. So there you go. Then let's see if I can fix this thing up. So for this, you want to have something to pry the lid, the name ring off, because this is not your normal FD. This thing actually has a sealed element group thingy in the front, yeah. So it's not like the ones that you can snap off. This thing has like the system where they cast the optics into one piece. So let me find some plastic if I can. Probably gonna use this thing. Just slide it in under that and just pull up. There you go. That's your front ring. I'm gonna push this FDB somewhere else. Front ring goes over here. Now you have 3 screws in the front. Okay. I'll go and mark this thing with some nail polish, like usual, yeah. So I'm gonna mark the top, which is over there. Put a little bit of that over here, and someone's already marked the top before, yeah. Well, I think that's me. Oh yeah, fuck. Okay, so I've double marked my own lens. Okay, sorry. So now I'm gonna go take this thing apart by opening the 3 screws. So the 3 screws are gonna open up with H0 bit, which is over here. I've also trimmed my nails if you haven't noticed, so my nails are not gonna be in the way. But I'm also gonna have to use some plastic if I need to pry anything up, unlike where I usually use my nails. So open this. I think it's actually be easier on the body, yeah, because the body's gonna be like a small place where I can sit things on. There you go. So I don't have to worry about the, which was thing, the rear bit, like the flange, what you call this thing, lever thing is bending, because they actually might bend, yeah, if you do something wrong with them. So then you have this, pull them out. Okay, this thing comes out. Next you have the optics. The optics will come out at this point when you like pull them up or use a suction cup. They will come out just like that, yeah. Okay, so you can see mine where I've cut the side to actually access the optics and clean them up. It used to have fungi in there, so there you go. And now you can see this bit right here, which is, let's see. So this thing has some slits over here where the screws go in, and then after those slits, wait, let's go focus back on the table. Okay, so after those slits come out, I'm not sure what else is gonna be under there because I've never opened this bit yet. So let's see. First, I think you wanna mark the, like where each screw should go, so you don't actually mess this stuff up, yeah. Because this one, the one on the 2 marking over here, yeah, this thing hits the side perfectly, but the other 3, the other 2 do not hit the side perfectly. They have like a small gap between the sides. So I'm not sure why that is, but there you go. I'm gonna follow this thing because that is how it's gonna come back together again, I assume, yeah. Let's focus down. Let me go put this lamp here so you can actually see, yeah. See, this thing the screw head is on the edge of the track thing here, while on these two you can actually see there's like some excess thread on this bit right here. So that is what I'm gonna go pay attention to, and that is how I'm gonna put it back. Okay, so I'm gonna mark, I think, the screw and that bit right there as the parts that I want to keep basically stuck together. I'm gonna mark this thing right here with white. I'm gonna mark the inside of the screw if I can, yeah, with white. There we go. So that way I remember which bit I have to keep where. See? So if you mark the groove on the silver piece of metal under here, yeah, you can see where you should like put this thing, align it on basically, yeah, and you know which one you have to stick onto the thread. So I'm gonna take these three out, these three screws, yeah. I'm gonna set this to infinity, and let's go. So taking this first screw out, this thing also is a PH00 screw. Gonna be taking this one out. These things are magnetic, nice. Unlike some Nikon screws where they're not magnetic, they might be, I don't know, like titanium maybe, yeah, or something like that. Or yeah, I think they're titanium because nothing else probably does that, yeah. Aluminium is not strong enough for screws, so yeah, there we go. Here you have the front ring. Here you can see the white. Where's the marking, man? Oh, I marked some sticky stuff. Okay, so I'm supposed to mark this thing. Wait. You want to mark this bit because if you don't, then you might as well fuck yourself, man. Gonna forget. So once you have, there we go, then spread it around. Nice. Then after that, in theory you can just like unscrew this thing fully, but I don't think you can on this one. Or you might be actually able to. Oh yeah, you can. So I can probably just unscrew this guy. So remember this notch thingies on the top right now, yeah? That's infinity. I think I would want to like mark this infinity spot with a little bit of a scratch on this bit right there. So let me go find some screwdriver that I can need, like this one right here. And then let me go find some Q-tip and some alcohol to clean up the part that I want to scratch. So stick this Q-tip, some alcohol on it, then just wipe this bit right here, wipe this bit right here, and so at infinity this thing, the inner helicoid barely comes out, as you can see. Wait, let's focus down, yeah. See, so the inner helicoid barely comes out like that, and then this notch thingy is over here. So I'm gonna go mark this with my screwdriver. Nice. There we go. So I have two markings over here, yeah. Two scratches over here and on the silver bit. I'm not sure you can see the silver one, but I can. So there's your markings. I'm also gonna mark the inner bit over here so that they actually line up, and I can assemble this thing perfectly later. So let's focus back down. Okay. Okay, this thing is plastic. Okay, and this thing is held in with the helicoid key, so you cannot just untwist this guy, but then you have to twist this guy to untwist this guy. Let's see. So I'm gonna go twist this one. And see how far you have to twist. See, this is plastic, the inner pin. This is like 1 turn. So it's, yeah, at 360 degrees, this thing will come out. So to put it back in, make sure this thing lines up. I mean, make sure these two line up with these scratches. Then you put these two onto these two scratches over here, yeah? And after that, you can just basically line them in and twist this thing clockwise. So then you want to mark this bit also. This is your aperture assembly and rear group also. The helicoid key is gonna be still in there. It's over there. Then now you want to open this ring up. For this ring, let's see what I did. I opened this bit. I think it goes the same way. Yeah? So turn it this way. This is 1 turn. And this is 2 turns. This is 3 turns. 4 turns. 5 turns. 6 turns. A little bit more than 6. This seems like a single helicoid, so you don't have to remember the orientation of this guy, yeah? But then let me go mark this guy down. So basically 6 turns, yeah. Six turns. Canon FD 50mm F1.8. 6 turns. Bracket. Silver middle helicoid to final infinity position. 1 turn is for the inner helicoid, bracket plastic to infinity position. So insert the inner helicoid at 5 turns of middle helicoid. Okay, I put my notes down. I'm gonna go wash this thing because this is disgusting. This is also quite disgusting. So I'm gonna go clean these things up. After that, I'm gonna also wash this ring because this is disgusting also. And this thing also I'm gonna wash. Then I'm gonna clean the grease everywhere and hopefully we get this thing done soon, yeah? So yeah, thank you, and I'm gonna come back after this. Okay, and because this thing's so disgusting, I have this, which is a vacuum cleaner, yeah? I found out that I actually have this like 1000 something watt vacuum cleaner at home, so I'm gonna be using this guy to suck up some dust inside of this lens, because opening this thing up will be easy, but I'm lazy, so yeah, let's see if I can pull this stuff up. So to activate this thing, I usually just push the button on this, like the bit over here. But I'm not sure, yeah? Let's see. Let me go show you this bit over here. Focus down on the FD lens. Let's go. Fuck. That's clean enough, I think, yeah? Not perfect, but it's actually quite clean, man. Cleaning helicoids with a vacuum cleaner. If you can actually vacuum your helicoid grid, you know your helicoid grease is dead, because helicoid grease is supposed to be lively, yeah? It's supposed to be like light, and liquid, and this stuff is not light or liquid, it's like rubbish. So yeah, then why is this thing not closing? Okay, there you go. So yeah, I'm gonna go clean this thing up later, and hopefully everything will go well. I'm gonna come back to you soon. Okay, hello, so I have my normal grease, and today, I mean now, because this is the other part, the second part of this video, yeah, so I'm gonna go and continue with this. So what I'm gonna do is, basically, yeah, in a helicoid you have these three parts. The outer, the middle, which has two sides, the inner and the outer side, and then the inner helicoid. This thing has big threads because this is what's moving. This you want a lot of grease on, and you can use heavy grease on this bit and it wouldn't matter at all. For the outer part, that's what gives you dampening. This thing has like thin fine threads, and this is what you have to give light grease. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be using this for the outer thread and this for the inner thread. I've cleaned my paintbrush and I'm gonna go apply some grease, this grease, onto this thread. This thing is supposed to be really good, expensive grease, so hopefully it does work well. If it doesn't, then wait, let me go and try dry fitting this thing on, yeah, so I don't mess this thing up. Okay, that works. So I'm supposed to like clean this one last time with my finger. This thing should be enough though, yeah. Let me go check. I think it should be enough. So this you wanna apply on thread like this, yeah. You don't want too much grease because then it'll go everywhere. Just need enough grease. So this might be a bit too much, but I don't know. This is light grease, so I'm probably okay with using quite a lot of it. This. So this thing has to do 6 turns up to infinity, which means I'm gonna have to turn this thing 5 times, and after 5 times I'm gonna put the inner helicoid in, and I think also I have to open the back up for this thing because the cam, like the what you call these things, the lever thingies on the lens have to connect inside this thing over here, which means that I'll have to open the back to align those things when putting the optical group back in. If you didn't get what I said, I'm gonna show you later after I finish putting some grease on the helicoid. So the problem with this grease, it's like translucent, so it's hard to see where you've put the grease and where you haven't. But I think I've put the grease pretty much everywhere on the outside. I mean on the outside of the thread. I'm gonna put this thing on the inside, a bit over here, on the lens. Gonna put drops everywhere. When I feel that's enough, I can like spread the grease. This thing shouldn't evaporate and it shouldn't what you call this thing? Jam up, because it's PTFE grease, yeah. So even if it dries up, it won't get stuck, but then it'll have like this ceramic like surface in theory at least. So this is the outer grease done. And let's see how smooth this thing is gonna be. So I'm gonna just first put this thing in where the scratches lie. Then I'm just gonna push this thing out by a bit and then turn it in. So this is 1, 2, this is really light one. 3, it's gonna be this. Then you have 4. Wow, this is awesome, man. 5, I think. And this is 6. Wait, I think I lost count. Let's pull this thing back out again. Yeah, that's what expensive grease gets you, yeah. So just gotta pull this thing out and push this thing in here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is the part where you have to have this thing inside already, so I'm gonna pull this thing one more time out like this, and over here you wanna align this thing with this, and then it should just like go in. So now I'm at the point where I have to take out the rear bit of this lens. I'm gonna keep the springs and the ball and like the small actuator bit, but I don't have to, because I have some I have some replacement bearings coming, because I lost one before. So while trying to fiddle with the aperture bit, I flipped this thing over without remembering that this thing had some like bearings in there. So what happened was the bearing fell out, and yeah, it's like all of us have like these small black holes under our feet, when we work on these things, so we always lose them. Then we have this screw. Shit. Okay, we have this screw. Okay, then this thing you can press is gonna be on the same plane as this red thing over here on top. Just pull it out, and now you wanna push this thing in. So let me go and open this out of grease. I'm also gonna first clean the paintbrush, because you do not want to mix greases. This thing is PTFE molybdenum grease, and this is some lithium grease. Not sure if they're the same thing, but if they're the same thing, you should be okay with mixing them. But because I do not know what these two are, I mean, like, I didn't care about searching, so I'm gonna clean this paintbrush out first, so it doesn't have any of the white grease, and then I'm gonna go and open this grease. You can immediately see that this thing's quite a lot thicker than the other grease, because it's way thicker. It's NLGI2, this thing's NLGI1. NLGI2 will work most of the time, but for lenses I do like NLGI1 quite a lot, because that way you can get a way lighter feel on the lens than with NLGI2 grease. NLGI2 should be okay for longer telephoto lenses, but for quick shots and stuff like that, NLGI1 or NLGI0. NLGI0, you have the chance that the grease might like dry out sooner, because fuck the play. Okay, so NLGI0, the grease might dry out sooner because it has more oil, and the oil will separate from the grease like substructure basically, and that is what will in the end make the grease separate, and the like coagulator thingy is gonna be left behind, and the oil is gonna go in your aperture assembly. So that's not what you want. That's why I'm using NLGI1. So let's first do this to basically spread the grease evenly with my paintbrush, and hopefully what this does is that it distributes the grease evenly and not like in certain spots, because that would be bad. So there you have a nicely greased helicoid. Now you have this thing which you also want to grease. For greasing, you want a thin layer of grease everywhere, not like huge splotches in some places and some dry bits, because the dry bits are gonna make some scratching noises, which is not ideal. So here we go, and I might need to get some extra, but I don't think so. Let's take some excess from here and see if that's enough. Yeah, I don't think that's enough, so let's take some extra. Now I don't remember how many times I've threaded that one. So let's unthread this guy. Let's also wipe the top bit so it doesn't contaminate my hands. Go. Then now let's unscrew. Okay, so gotta just oh shit. Okay, I forgot that I've taken out the rear and now I have lost the second ball bearing. Fuck. Let's put the springs back here. And let's... yeah, he's gonna stop. Okay, so I lost another bearing, man. What the hell? Is it not here? Oh, it's here. Okay, I'm good. So I bought 100 bearings, so I should be good for this. Even if I lose any bearings, let's pull this one here. Chop it there. Oh, there you go. The spring should be. Oh, okay. I think. Oh no, that's not. That's just grease. Okay, but yeah. So the spring should be okay because they're light and they have grease everywhere inside there. So they're not gonna jump out suddenly, which is the best thing. Because if they jump out, I do not have replacement springs. So this you wanna thread it in 5 times, yeah. 1. Wait, that's 1. This is 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then at this point you wanna push this thing in. Wait, what bit goes on the top? I've put scratches. Where are the scratches? These are the scratches, so you want to align these things over here. Okay, yeah. Then basically screw this thing in. Okay, so I'm gonna have to find a way to align the helicoid key, which is misaligned. Let's pull this thing slightly here. And once you're in, you're supposed to be able to like push this thing in fully. And there you go. That is your helicoid key in. And this is infinity in theory. So there you go. Now what you want to do next is you want to put the spring, the ball, and the small like actuation thingy into the lens itself again. So this is the actuation thingy. Just gotta go here. Then you have a small spring, which is gonna go on the actuator thingy. If I can actually slot it in, yeah. So there you go. Then you have a ball, which is gonna go over here into one of these springs. You're supposed to have two balls, yeah. One here, but I lost one, so I'm gonna wait for some replacements. They're gonna come like by the day after tomorrow, I think, yeah. So the other one's gonna go here. Then this should just go into place. So this thing is here. You have this and this. Now this should just find its way into the... wait, yeah. This and that thing. Fit these two in. Why is that bit not going in? Son of a shit, man. Wait. lock it in. Yeah, then let's see if locking this thing in will help. First push the thing here. Where's the, oh, okay, so I'm gonna go push this thing. It's in. Now I'm gonna try and screw the thing down. So, is this actually in focus? Should be, yeah. Then you wanna click this pin, it spins, then you get to screw this one in. Sorry for the background noise, yeah. It's not like I'm praying or I'm drilling anything. I'm just fixing this lens. So you have the mount firmly on there. Then you wanna go below the optic, and yeah, this one should be done. So this goes on here, and that should be it for the FD 50mm f1.8. That's the optic blown. Then you want to blow this thing. Also, this thing has some schneideritis, yeah, so I'm gonna go and take my paint pen and go paint the optic black. Gonna put this crease away. Why is this so fucking non-black, man? Okay. That should be it. So I'm gonna close this paint pen. Then I'm gonna go wait for this optic to dry up. And while I do that, I'm gonna go and fix this focus ring back in. So this thing goes into here, like this, and that white thingy goes on there. Okay, nice. What you want to do next is you want to screw this focus ring back down, following my previous markings. So this thing goes on the edge, and everything else just follows. Nice. It's a bit heavier than the original. I think that's because of the grease I put on the inner helicoid, yeah. But then it's nice. It's not too heavy, not too light. It has some sound though, yeah. I think that's because I put too little of this. But it's no smell, so should be okay, I'd say. Good enough. So yeah, then I'm gonna go and put this optic back in. Paint still smells though, yeah, so I should push it in. I think the paint still smells. Let me go cut this video for a while, yeah. Okay, so this thing doesn't have any smell now, so Gonna go blow this guy again. This guy. Drop this optic back in. Then I'm gonna go mount this thing on the body. And to lock this thing in, you have to mount the front ring, because this thing is gonna push the optic in. So unlike some other lenses, you can't test the focus right away until you do this, or else you do risk your lens falling out. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna do it slowly. So screw this one, and these screws are going in plastic, yeah, so just be careful to not like strip them, because that'll be bad. Then this is your third screw, and there you go, you are done. So yeah, thank you for watching, hope you liked it. This thing just goes in and you just screw it in, and yeah, there you go. Thank you and goodbye.